And just to
That's
be clear,
fair game.
Just to be clear, these are not 14-year-olds working at an ice cream parlor, right? Who have their parents'
Which
permission.
is already a little like, what? Maybe
That's still a thing, but you get your parents' permission. It is what it is. You go through the proper protocol. Now, you had mentioned tobacco fields, and I'm sure there is plenty of agriculture stuff, but there was actually some recent court settlements, not even settlements, court cases to reference. Packers Sanitation Services, a major U.S. food sanitation company, illegally employed at least 102 children between the ages of 13 and 17 in jobs that had them using caustic chemicals to clear razor-sharp saws, and paid $1.5 million in civil penalties for employing minors in hazardous occupations and having them work overnight shifts at 13 meat processing facilities in 8 states.
When we say minors, do you know how old these kids were actually?
13 to 17.
I'm sorry. Oh, wow. Maybe I missed
13 to 17. Gotcha. And that's about $15,000 per kid, which is the maximum civil penalty allowed under federal law, which I feel is incredibly low. Are you kidding me with that?
It looks like it hasn't been raised.
There were kids that were hurt.
Originally put it. Yeah. Until it looks like they just pulled that right out of 1932. It looks like the number has not raised with inflation. It is worth it.
1,000.
It is worth it then.
Yeah.
It is worth it for a corporation to get caught doing this and pay the fine because exactly it becomes the cost of doing business. Yep.
That's just the cost of doing business. I mean, blew my mind when I read that.
By hiring children is well over 15 grand in a year.
And this same company, to your point, I'm so glad that you said that, because that did not deter them. There are at least 2 other cases with the same company. Separately, they were fined nearly $1 million for employing 49 minors at 2 JBS Foods in 49 states.
49 workers. You get fined $1 million. I mean, first of all, we're living in a society where workers are the most productive they have ever been in the history of mankind. That's just a fact. Like that's something that you could just look out there for economists. And we're not just talking about white collar workers. This is across the board. Workers in general, because of the advancements in terms of technology and how we're doing our jobs, we are far more efficient than we have ever been before. And yet we're working more hours than we have ever done before. You get 49 children in that sweet spot of a point in history, and then all you're getting fined is $1 million. That is so worth it.
The other one was 102.
Worth it.
The other one was 102. It was 1.5. This is 49. They got fined $1 million. And then there were additional fines for employing 26 minors in several states, including Arkansas.
Okay. So someone was like, all right, you know what? These fines, we can eat them, but wouldn't it be nice not to have to deal with them at all? It's like, Miss Huckabee Sanders, your play, my friend. Would you like to be reelected with that sweet child working money, that sweet child working pact? I wonder if there is a sweet child working pact, the lobbying group that is pulling together money for our elected officials to get reelected on the backs of child labor.
Yeah, I hear every dollar you donate to Huckabee Sanders, she will donate 1 penny for children's lunches at her factories.
You know what I love about this country in particular is I love that this is the same party that will lambaste the idea of legalized prostitution, like that is immoral. That if some adult wants to sell their own body or wants to engage in paying for sex, that is crazy. That's egregious. That's unchristian. That is laundry. That is just despicable and something that is just for the ilks of society. But pressuring children who have no parental guardians to work in meatpacking facilities, well, that's a what would Jesus do?
Migrant children too. Not even to say if they weren't, but imagine the relocation aspect of this, where you have nothing, no support network. It's not, again,
I mean, it's so shocking. It's so mentally, numbing. I mean,
you're talking about like hometown kids working in the local pizzeria or refereeing soccer games or something like that. Like, it's so much worse. That's bad enough, but this is so much worse. These people have no one on their side. It's
You know what I like? I also like that it's always out of sight, out of mind. It's perfectly fine if they're sequestered away into some windowless facility where no one can see them. You try and get 12-year-olds to start pumping people's gas. See how the public see how the public feels about that
really
one.
good point. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine?
Just like a little 10-year-old just rolls up to your window. Now, guys, we live in Jersey where pumping gas is we're like I think the last state that allows it. But but you imagine little 12-year-old Nancy just walks up and is like, that'll be $15, please. She's like struggling with the pump. She's trying to like
to
reach
see
into the gas
over
tank.
your door. She's got like her two little paws over the door, pulling herself up.
You're like, I don't feel good about this. Like, I just don't feel good about this at all.
Sweetie, do you need help?
Yeah, it's like God, I don't like it.
Yeah, there's something wrong with all of this. It's just not like I honestly like I'm having a hard time with this one with the kids. It's
you should be having a hard time. Everyone should be having like
I'm having a real hard time with this
it's a
one.
come to Jesus moment.